Okay, I'll make it a tidbit because it's fresh in my head still. If you go back to the late 19th century, there was a London gang who were known as the 40 Elephants, and they were also known as the 40 Thieves. They were an all-female crime syndicate who were based in the Elephant and Castle area of London, and they carried out industrial-scale thefts. They done thefts from warehouses. They also used seduction and blackmail of straying gentlemen, and they carefully planned shoplifting scams at West London's finest stores, earning members hundreds of pounds a day. Now, they were also known to operate like a business corporation. They had a strict code of conduct, which no doubt would serve any criminal enterprise well. And the 40 Elephants, they gained a reputation quite quickly, and they were actually mentioned in the newspapers of the time in both the UK and as far as the US, getting their first mention in 1873, and were known to operate between then and the 1950s, which is a long run for any London gang because there's so much competition. Now, the leader of the 40 Elephants, she was called Alice Diamond, and she's described as being 5'9" with a full figure, and was reputed to be a physical match for most men in London at the time. And if you take into consideration that the average height of men then was 5'7", then you can see there should be a formidable force. And she became the gang's queen in 1916 when she was only 20, and with her came a greater propensity for violence. And she was reputed to wear diamond rings, which she also used as knuckle dusters. Now, the 40 Elephants, under her leadership, they caused problems for the Metropolitan Police, and they weren't afraid of using violence to get themselves out of tight spots. And Alice was also known to fight the police. Now, their life of crime also funded a life of decadence, and in the London's Roaring Twenties, that allowed them to hang out at the most glamorous hotels, bars and the theatres and so on, and live the high life. However, after a spell in prison, Alice, she ceded her leadership to Lillian Rose Kendall, and following societal changes, things like increased security in shops, even changes in modern clothing styles, which impeded their method of shoplifting, the gang slowly moved apart. And as for Alice, after leaving the gang, she founded a brothel in Lambeth, where she also acted as a consultant for the new up-and-coming generation of thieves. And then during World War II, she refused to leave London during the evacuations, and later contracted multiple sclerosis, and she died in 1952 at the ripe old age of 55. You heard it here first on Tidbits. I am the OBG.